Welcome back to What's Next Garage. Today we're going to be brush hogging, rototilling, and running in some Northwoods Whitetail, Northwoods Winter RYE. I was going to throw it over the top of this buckwheat. It's a little bit thin. I figured it would lay good and I would cultipack it in. But my neighbor offered to help with his brush hog and rototiller. So stick around. Here we go. I told him I was going to be planting some winter rye and asked him if he had a cultipacker and if I could borrow it. And then he asked me, what do you need? And I told him I was going to seed out winter rye over the top of this buckwheat. And he said, well, I tell you what, I'll brush hog it for you and then I'll scratch till it. Now I had no idea that he was gonna leave me with this. So you can see he's got me cut around, around, and around. Mark is just one of those guys that will go out of his way to help a neighbor out. Welcome back to What's Next Garage. Time to seed. We're running Northwoods RYE from Northwoods Whitetail. And everybody knows it's that bigger seed. We're gonna seed it. Here we go. And I didn't take anybody's advice on making this easier. So, guess what? Here we go. I'm not gonna run. I'm just gonna make sure I get it nice and seated. And I can definitely see where the seed is going. And this ground is super soft. That rototiller made this into like pillows. So it's in there pretty good. We need some rain tonight. I'm not gonna cultipack it. This ground is plenty soft. Any bit of rain will nail that down. Mark says this is going to be the spot right here where those deer travel between these two spots. So we have this trail, which goes to that trail. And behind that is all bedding. It's all thick popple overgrowth. Everything back there is thick popple overgrowth. And this will be our spot. We made a funnel. That'll be a good heavy growth. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for next year in the spring. I think I'm gonna do the buckwheat again, but this is one heck of a nicely rototilled. This is very soft. I know I could come back in like 2 weeks and overseed with what I have. You know what? Maybe I will do that. Maybe I won't open that bag because I seeded this all down. Maybe I'll wait for 2 weeks and layer it in. This, all of this, everything in between here, all should have been buckwheat. So next year I'll come through. I'm not gonna knock any buckwheat down. I'm gonna let it reseed itself. Then I'm also going to put in more seed. Then we'll try and get this whole thing developed as a food plot. But for right now, we're gonna run this food plot trail. So then right in here, this area is actually part of that bigger food plot that runs east and west. And that's got some buckwheat. You could see some buckwheat standing. That'll get all nuked in the spring and then seeded with more buckwheat. I might frost seed some clover. I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's gonna do it for this episode of What's Next Garage. Thanks for watching and have a great day. With only a half an inch of rain in 2 weeks, I think it's coming up pretty nice.